Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Yield Today of Dow and Candlin. Today, we're talking about perfectionism and being able to overcome it. Of all the things that will keep you from starting a business or learning something new, one big thing is perfectionism. And perfectionism is basically when you don't get started or you don't keep going and finish the thing because it has to be perfect before it can be shipped, before it can be sent out into the world. And this is so false because there is no such thing as a perfect piece of content, a perfect video game, a perfect book. All it needs to do is get your point across and just be true to you and get it out there because you need to keep learning, and every single experience is going to help you keep learning. There's no such thing as a perfect experience, so you got to keep going, you got to keep learning and keep growing. So I have 3 little tips that I wanted to share super fast. It's going to be a very quick episode, and I hope that they're helpful for you. Number one is just that you want remember that you want to help Number one is remember your why. 2 is remember that it's going to take time. And 3, you get no credit for a 0. So those 3 things are remember your why, remember your why, remember the journey, and remember that you get no credit for a 0. We're going to dive into each of these super fast. So with remembering your why, this is really important because if you want to get your message out there and you really want to help people, a really great way to do that is content creation or whatever you want to do. But if you don't even get it started, you don't get the ball rolling, you can't work with that. With a snowball rolling down a hill, there had to be something going, no matter how small it was, but there was something that could be influenced that could gather momentum. And whether you know it or not, your first step could help. Whether you know it or not, your first step could lead to a lot of momentum. But if you're stuck in perfectionism land, you're not going to get anywhere. Number 2 is just it's going to take a lot of time. This entrepreneurship and learning and becoming a better person, it's a process. It's a long game thing. You don't really. I remember like before I left for my mission, I thought I was a pretty fantastic person and I'd grown a lot and I loved people and everything. But honestly, I wasn't even scratching the surface yet, and the mission really helped me a ton and gave me a lot of perspective for things I could do to learn and grow in the future. And so if you really want to get that ball rolling and you want to start that journey, you need to get out of the perfectionism zone, and it's something that you can get into a lot of the time continuously. And one quick tip to help you not do that is just have a deadline. And that's what I do with Instagram. Like I'll post my stuff and I try not to look back at it unless like just to learn from it and get inspiration, because every single day is so precious, and once the day is gone, it's gone. And so again, kind of going back to the beginning, you want to be able to move on to the next thing so you can help more people with different messages, because some messages are going to vibe more with people than others. Some people are really struggling with perfectionism, and this is a very fast, quick, deep dive into that, and hopefully it'll be helpful for them. For some people, maybe this isn't something they struggle with. So keeping that journey in mind is huge. And finally, you do not take any credit for a 0. And I've felt this in college where I did not plan ahead, and all of a sudden I'm taking a 0 on my grade, and I've seen zeros bring a grade down from an A to like a C plus, and it is the saddest thing in the world. And you just have to be really careful. And the same thing goes with building momentum and growing. You want to make sure that you are getting something from the day and are learning, because as Pat Flynn would say, you have to be a disaster before you can become a master. And disasters keep trying. Well, disasters that want to become masters, they keep trying, they keep learning, and they know that they're going to get better, and they don't want to take a 0. They want to keep learning, they want to keep trying new things, and they just want to improve and become a better version of themselves. And they want to be able to help people, and they want to learn. You don't get any credit for a 0. So you could spend all this time researching how to make a business, how to do a blog and all this stuff, how to start affiliate marketing, but you don't get any grading on that until you actually start the process. And you might get some really low grades, however you measure improvement or success in the beginning, but that is just the beginning. You got to keep going. You got to keep trying. When I first started this podcast, it got some listenership and stuff, but now it's doing a lot better. I'm figuring myself up in the niche, and it's just going a lot better now. And you just have to respect the journey and remember it's not a perfect journey, but it is a wonderful learning journey and opportunity. So I hope that's helpful for you. Just again, those three things are: remember your why, remember the journey you're on, and that you just want to keep learning, right? And then finally, remember you don't get any credit for a zero. So thank you so much for listening as always. And that super exciting interview I'm doing is dropping on this upcoming Monday. So stay tuned for it. Thank you all so much for listening as always. Don't forget to follow the podcast so you do not miss any future episodes, and subscribe on YouTube too if you're watching it here. I appreciate that a lot. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Don't forget to yield today, and it will be a better tomorrow.